This is a Friday evening in Bangkok, Thailand, and I'm walking back to my guest house room, and I'm going to channel Infinite Spirit to Supreme Being as I go there and do what I can to do that. So here we go. Well, the first obvious thing is that the Supreme Being, as he or she or it talks through you, is going to want to kind of joggle your consciousness in your mind a little bit to encompass bigger thoughts than you presently occupy due to your human grooved limitation thinking of society all around you. So basically you're going to break the matrix of your localized thought patterns that everybody shares around you, and I've definitely proven that it is a bit of a matrix pattern. So what's going to happen is God is going to force you to think bigger and broader and wiser than all this, right? Now, one thing that God wants to teach me is that it's one thing to want to think big thoughts and grand thoughts and noble and wonderful thoughts. It's another to have the confidence, the ability to bring them into motion in the real world and to manifest them. So there's both of those together. So if I'm going to ask for big, glorious, magnificent thoughts, I also have to ask for the design, the mechanism to bring them into being in the real world and not just pipe dreams, right? Not just fantasies. Anyway, this particular country is popular because it's a very party mindset. The people have a party mentality of not working hard and having as much fun as possible. You can only stand there for a little while and then you go, just what the hell are these guys? Bunch of slobs, you know? That indulgent slobbiness, you know what I mean? And the only successful people in this country are the Chinese, right? Because they have a different mindset. They basically get up early and work hard. They believe in just working and frugality in industry. That's how my Chinese think. Where these Thai people, they say Sanuk and Mai Pen Rai, which is have fun and don't worry. Well, and then when they're broke, they worry. So there you go. So as God would have it, God would bring down the ability to put things into motion that are revealed in creativity and big, magnificent thinking. There's got to be that ability to bring things into motion and put them into practice, because otherwise you're just dealing with ideas, and magnificent, wonderful, big, giant thoughts will not do anything unless they're brought into being with a mechanism, with a purpose and a plan. So even though it's just my words right now, it's still my realizing that this is the way it needs to improve. In my comprehension, there needs to be a mechanism and a way to bring ideas into actual physical manifestation. Okay, how have I done it so far? I've done writing. I'm a communicator, so I do websites and I do writing. I've written 2 manuscripts and I take notes constantly and stuff like that. Okay, that's good. But actually there's a higher way to do this, or a further, more interesting way, and that's to involve other people. That's the key. Involve other people. Bring other people into your plans and share your plans and make things actually happen on the real scale of the real world. You know, that's the next step, for sure. It's about manifesting this. Anyway, so this is about God thoughts. This is about God speaking through me. God speaking through me says, you have great ideas, but are you bringing them into manifestation? God really likes manifestation because God created this world in an idea sense, but also in a physical sense. And to God, success is very important. God is very interested in success, you know, in success, abundance, and prosperity, that kind of stuff. God wants me to have 10 acres in the forest. God wants me to have an opportunity to put a beautiful house on that 10 acres. That's the bottom line. That's true with God. God reads my desires. God is interested in my desires. God is totally interested in my desires, fascinated with my desires. God wants to fulfill my desires. This is the fulfillment of my desires. And Neville says I have to step right into my fulfilled desires and pretend that they are already fulfilled in order to build a bridge, that I may cross the bridge from the present situation into that fulfilled desire. That's what Neville says. Very radical, but very strong stuff. So there you have it. I channeled God again. And it turned out to be just a suggestion advice thing about what God would tell me. That's it. That's good enough. That's perfect. Excellent. I've dictated God and turned into advice from God. In other words, I'm not making big speeches pretending to be God, which I was doing in the past 2 or 3 months. Now I'm actually sort of saying what God would want me to say and would want me to think like, which is pretty good, actually. Let's face it, how God would want me to act and be is a lot like what I've done in the last 2 months, which is that I've acquired a sense of equilibrium about a lot of things, emotionally speaking. Absolutely nothing seems to upset me anymore. I had a couple of occasions where I should have been upset. In the past I would have been. But as it turned out, what I did was I just shrugged and I looked bewildered at that person, walked away, and that was it. And I wasn't even upset. I was just bewildered. That's exactly what God wants. Exactly. Because when you become upset, you invest your emotion into a situation and you actually feed the discord of that situation. There's so many subtle things like this that one can learn about being emotionally mature. Another huge, vast thing is that I've just banked on holiness, period. I've just said, forget everything, just be holy. I'm going to be holy. That's it. That's all I want. Just be holy in any situation. Which means I ignore a lot of the nonsense that I've gotten involved in prior to this, before. Just to be holy means to just be holy and have the desire to be holy. That's it. That's good enough. For God, it's good enough. And yes, it's a bit intangible. It's a bit not specifically exactly definable, but it is what it is. Good. So to be holy is to be a lot like God, actually. Very much like that. And it's a very good objective to have. Very good objective. Well, I've just walked all the way from the new CM2, where I had a cup of tea there, all the way to this Riverline guest house, and it seemed like it took about 30 seconds, you know what I mean? Amazing, just amazing. Here's the back little alley to the guest house, and it's just a few feet away now. So there I was, what seemed like 30 seconds ago, in the washroom of the new CM2, after finishing my tea and washing my hands, and here we are at the Riverline already. This bicycle is free to use, but it doesn't have a rack or basket, so it makes it tough. And here we are at the Riverline guest house. Rooms available. Step right in. Enjoy your stay. Thank you. There's my room up there, 208 right there. Right above the front door. Wow, amazing. Well, I'm going to close it off for now. And I'm going to say that this has been a very productive channeling of God. Actually, it was a dictation of the Supreme Being as best as could be done. Thank you very much. Goodbye.